It's over with. God, good ass nigga. Hating ass, bitch ass
nigga. Torrance Boosie Hatch has been in gun charges for a 2023 arrest in San Diego, according to court records. Now, he was arrested back in June 2023 on a felon in possession of a firearm charges when officers first found 2 handguns in his car during a traffic stop. Now, those charges were dropped. A few weeks later, he was charged again with possession of a gun by a convicted felon and drug user for a separate incident. On Wednesday, Hatch posting on X that he felt blindsided by the indictment while on vacation with his family, claiming it was unfair that the indictment, quote, again on the same charge with another added.
Okay, man, this is a crazy situation. Charleston White is still over here violating Lil Boosie after the news had it that Lil Boosie was nearly forced to surrender on new federal gun charges. Now listen up, man. Charleston hopped on Twitter and Charleston was like, if you want to stay free, Lil Boosie, you gotta stay away from Vlad. You messed up your own freedom again. Your past is still hunting you down, bad ass. I told you it was going to happen. LOL. Now with those laughing emojis, and that was really going crazy. Now remember previously, man, Charleston also was violating Lil Boosie, and Charleston was like, I want Lil Boosie to stop effing with Vlad, but he wouldn't listen. Now look at him crying on the internet after getting indicted again. I told you it won't be long till you go back to jail. LOL. Now this is a crazy situation going on right here. Now before Lil Boosie, got his freedom and everything was going cool for Lil Boosie, listen, Charleston wasn't letting Lil Boosie breathe, man. It looks like Charleston was actually prophesying about Lil Boosie getting arrested again. Because remember, man, when the charges was dropped, Lil Boosie hopped on Instagram and he started making videos talking about his freedom, cussing out people on social media. Now it looks like when the federal prosecutor saw it and he was like, damn, bruh, why do you want to talk too much on the internet? Now I'm about to get you indicted again on the same charges. That's why we are talking about this situation right now. And Charleston says something crazy about that situation, when Lil Boosie got released and, every charges was dropped against him, and Charleston have to react to that situation because Lil Boosie was actually firing some shots at Charleston. Now it looks like everything that Lil Boosie did, man, he was making the wrong choices. He was making the wrong decisions because at this point, man, his freedom is about to be taken away from him. And if he is found guilty, that's going to be a blast for Lil Boosie. Now, Lil Boosie already knows better, bruh. I told Lil Boosie, listen up, man. You can't be all over here on the internet. Now, Vlad called you to come and do some podcast interview. Now, what's going to happen, man? Now, Vlad is not going to call you until you beat this particular case. Now, you want to go over there effing with Vlad and trying to get your money. There is nothing wrong about that, bruh. But all money is not good money. Now, Charleston is making a mockery of you. Charleston is making a mockery of your name. What do you think is about to happen, man? What do you think is about to happen? You're about to start spending some new money, bruh. You're about to start paying your lawyer again. Now, I want you all to watch this video to the end because I'm about to play the part that Lil Boosie lawyer was talking on YouTube, with one YouTuber, right? They were talking about the situation and she was explaining everything that really happened, and I'm about to play that video in a minute. Now, it's crazy situation over here, but one thing I knew, that Lil Boosie could have kept everything that happened off the internet because he is always on the internet trying to cuss out people, trying to share his opinion, trying to do what he want to do and stuff like that. And that's a crazy situation for Lil Boosie, and right now his freedom is being taken away from him and everything is going crazy over here, man. But it's what it is, man. But remember, every opinion I'm sharing on my channel is for entertainment purposes, bruh. But I'm about to play you all the clip, man. Before then, please kindly like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the clip, and catch you guys later.
But there's questions about why, if this was a valid charge, should not have been brought initially the first time. And so we'll be raising motions concerning that charge specifically and the government's motivations for bringing the charge so late after Mr. Hatch has exercised his constitutional rights in this case.
So you said he was turning himself in today in San Diego. Is he going to have to be in custody?
He is not turning himself in today. It's next week. So I think that's where I cut out. The government wanted him to self-surrender today. That makes no sense. He was on bond in his state case. He had no violations. He showed up to court. He showed up to court on time every time. He was on bond in his federal case Hatch won. For over a year, no violations. He showed up to court every single time. There were no issues whatsoever. Issuance of an arrest warrant in those circumstances, something I personally have never seen. As you know, I was a federal prosecutor for a long time before I started doing defense work. That is not something that I had seen as a prosecutor. It's not something I've seen as a defense attorney. Uncalled for in this situation. We moved to recall the arrest warrant. We moved his appearance date, not a self-surrender date, an appearance date to next week. So next week, August 2nd, Mr. Hatch will appear in court, not surrendering himself as the prosecution wanted him to do. You know, their request for an arrest warrant in this case, in my opinion, there's no justification for it. He is not in questions. And you have jurisdictions across the country that have ruled that the law as applied to people like Mr. Hatch is unconstitutional. With the backdrop of the Ninth Circuit having already made that specific finding, and you decide to recharge him now, that makes no sense. The statute of limitations in the federal system is 5 years. What that means is the government has 5 years from the time that Mr. Hatch is alleged to have engaged in criminal conduct to file criminal charges against him. Mr. Hatch is arraigned next week.
And you said the charges are, it's felon in possession of a firearm. That was the previous charge, or unlawful possession of a firearm. You said there was a second charge in the new case.
There is. So they charged Mr. Hatch with possessing a firearm while being an unlawful user or addict of a controlled substance. I'd like to
charge.
Right. So I just as the backdrop on this, we know that Mr. Hatch was under supervision for over a year, federal supervision. One of the conditions of Mr. Hatch's federal supervision is that he was subject to regular drug testing. There have been 0 violations. They know this. They charged an individual who for the last year following his original arrest in this case, was regularly tested for narcotics by pretrial services, and at no point during any of those tests did Mr. Hatch test dirty. So for you to be charged with this, you've got to be an addict. An addict means someone who can't control their drug use. You've got to be a user, someone who is actively using while you're possessing the gun. Assuming that charge in itself is even constitutional, and there's significant questions about the constitutionality of that statute anyway. But even if it is constitutional, and even if it is constitutional as applied to Mr. Hatch, look at the facts of the case.
Well, I mean, was there any thought that Duarte would gut that charge? Because we haven't heard that in relation to the Hunter Biden case. And is that the exact charge he was charged with and convicted of before?
It was. So Hunter Biden was charged with that same charge. It is one that is very infrequently brought. I've been practicing in federal courts for over 20 years. I've had one case prior to this where that count was alleged, and the count ultimately was dismissed.
The prosecution that really dislikes me, bro. The first time I went to court, he looked at me and said, "Wipe me down." It's an old gray white man, bro. Like, I ain't even know he knew my song. I couldn't do nothing but I was like, damn, bro, like, it's personal, man. That's prosecutor misconduct. He looked at me and said, "Wipe me down." It surprised me, bro. It surprised me. I was like, damn. Then the dudes I was in the tank with, I had 2 Mexicans. They saw it. They was off, bro. They was like, man, they was mad, bro. Like, he surprised everybody that day, bro. He was emotional. I'm just glad that it's over. I just thank God, thank my attorneys. Yeah. Just ready to go cross seas. I'm gonna take a vacation. This really was a bump in my life, and I done made it over that bump. Now I just trying to enjoy my happiness,
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Here y'all go.